Hey everybody, welcome to Fight Buddies episode. I don't know the number. I'm sorry. With the last one was with Robin Black, and we didn't. I'll look in Gas Digital and find out the number because the podcast is coming back full time. I got guest producer Evan with me. You watch MMA?
I'm a big squared circle guy.
Okay,
Huge.
you're into boxing.
Squared circle, the octagon.
Oh, the octagon.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
I thought the. Okay, so I must have fucked that up because I like. What's the one that was? What's the one that they did? It was like they had the gloves cut out. It
Oh
was it
man.
wasn't it wasn't was it BKFC or whatever it was. I'll watch anything. It doesn't matter the shape. I'll watch it in a fucking phone booth, whatever.
As
But I
long
was
as
watching.
people are getting their teeth kicked in, you're about it.
Yes, but I was watching one of those, and it was like a ramp. It was kind of a ramp. You never saw this? It was on Direct TV.
No.
And the
Direct
guy
TV?
had it. Yeah, he had a saying. It was like, the boxing is the whatever, the octagon is the square or whatever. The boxing has the ring, UFC has the octagon, Bellator has the, I don't know, what do you call that? It's not an octagon.
Oh, is it six sides?
I don't know. But he was like, but we here at whatever it was, bare knuckle boxing. It's like we have like the slanted oval. I don't know.
They
I don't know
just
what they
gotta
called
find
it.
a new thing to just mark it.
Yeah. Somebody leave a comment and let me know. I swear they had the knuckles on the gloves cut out or something. They did it in Maine, I want to say. But we got Chris Camozzi today. We were supposed to also have Phil from Whitechapel. He wasn't able to join us, but it's still great because we had fun with Chris. He's great.
Great guy, yeah. I want to see him fight Hamzat Chimaev. You know that
Yes.
dude? That dude is a
Yes.
maniac.
Maniac. And nobody wants to fight him, but Chris will fight him.
Yeah, because Chris has balls. Chris will do it.
For sure. And you know what? A lot of guys are getting back in the UFC for like the third time, the fourth time. There's a guy on this weekend's card, Saturday, UFC Fight Night with the Korean Zombie. I want to say it's Julian Erosa. Erosa. I forget how to say his name, but he's been in the UFC like Camozzi like 2-3 times now. This might be his third time.
That's wild. You see, some people are just not the same when they come back, though.
But some people are better.
That's true. I mean, like Paige Van Zandt, she got her ass beat when she came back to the UFC, and like
Yeah.
Anderson Silva. I mean, he's just old, but his last fight was bad, real bad.
Yeah. But then there's guys, they go and they rack up a couple wins in the small promotion and they come back and they go on a little tear. I would love to see that for Chris, but Chris has a fight coming up this Thursday. Everybody check it out on ESPN2. The prelims are on ESPN Plus. Main cards on ESPN2. The main card is stacked. I mean, this is a great card here. We got, well, I'll start with the prelims. Tom Lawler, I'm definitely watching that versus Jordan Jung. Magomed Karamov versus Curtis Melander. Yao Zeffirino versus Jason Ponnet. Martin Hamlin versus Corey Hendricks. These are all welterweight and light heavyweight bouts. And then on the main card, we got Rory McDonald. We got Chris Camozzi. We got, who else is on here? Why did I lose my notes here? Sorry, everybody.
Sorty, Spawn. Cooper
Oh,
the
Dan
third.
Spawn versus Sorty. Oh, yeah. Chris was telling us we got to check out Ray Cooper. He's a fucking tank.
He's fighting Alexican. Dude's
Yeah,
so
Nikolai.
Russian.
Anybody named Nikolai sounds
Watch
scary.
out. Yep, watch out. Them Russians, man.
So if you like today's show, hit the subscribe, the bell, and give us a like. We will be back next week getting ready for this UFC pay-per-view. I want to thank Rebel 8. If you're into some streetwear, go to rebel8.com. Use the promo code JJ20 for 20% off. And also, for those of you who like MMA and you like metal, check out indiemerchstore.com. They will get your metal needs covered. All the different merch. If you're looking for some good shirts, some hoodies, Nowadays, everybody's rocking the tank tops. But they got everything. They got flip flops. You want some death metal flip flops, Evan?
Say less. I'm all about it.
IndieMerchStore.com. Use the promo code Jasta10. And for podcast merch, Coffee Death Metal push-up shirts, Jasta merch, Hatebreed merch, Crowbar, D. Snyder, go to martyrstore.net, martyrstore.net. We got Chris Camozzi here on the Fight Buddy Show. Enjoy it. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. It's another episode of the Fight Buddies podcast. I got UFC vet and PFL fighter, Mr. Chris Camozzi in the house. What's up, Chris?
What's going on? How you doing?
Good to see you, man. It's been a minute.
I know, it's been a while.
Have you been training, blasting some Whitechapel? Because we got Phil from Whitechapel coming on too.
Oh yeah, I'll use it for the weight cut tonight.
There you go. Yeah, that Whitechapel would be good for the weight cut because it's like the last album, especially. You're probably frustrated and angry and doom and gloom, and there's some of that on there.
Exactly. You're locked up in this hotel.
I bet. Yeah, because are you under strict rules to not be exposed to anybody who's like not vaccinated or not in the PFL bubble?
Yeah, so I got here on the 5th. So I've been just chilling in the Atlantic City hotel since June 5th.
Wow. Oh yeah. Man. Actually, I went and saw you fight in Atlantic City when you were in the UFC.
Yeah, same hotel.
The Revel or whatever it's called now.
Yeah, it's the Ocean now, but it's the exact same hotel, same arena, everything. It was kind of weird. Yeah, that was before the last event here for PFL. The last time I was here was that event when you were here.
Right on, dude. We were so pumped for that Clay Guida. Clay. Oh, who was he fighting? Gray Maynard. We were so pumped, and then Clay came out to Pantera, and we were like, "This is gonna be so sick," and it was the worst fight.
It was horrible.
And those two guys, I don't think had ever put on a really bad performance like that before. They were like fan favorites in my eyes, at least.
Yeah, I think they just like nullified each other, and so they were both hesitant because they both kind of fight similar, and it was like, when you get those two styles that you think are going to be great, but they cancel each other out. So it ended up being just boring as hell.
Yeah. And people thought that Clay was running, but it really was, he was just avoiding Gray's power and trying to, not get clipped. Right. Cause power is the last thing to go. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to remember that fight more. I just remember it was boring as hell. And yeah, like you said, neither one of those guys usually has a boring fight. So it was weird.
It was definitely weird. Hey, everybody, quick interruption. Letting you know today's episode is brought to you by IndieMerchStore.com. Go to IndieMerchStore.com after the podcast today. Tell them Jasta sent you. Use the coupon code Jasta10 and save 10% on all your metal merch needs. Restocks from King Diamond, Cannibal Corpse, Thy Art is Murder, and so many more. Plus underground bands like the Unique Leader Records roster. And we even have some Kingdom of Sorrow, Jasta, and Jasta Show podcast shirts at IndieMerchStore.com. You could even check out my curated link where I picked a bunch of designs and items, backpacks, hoodies. So go to IndieMerchStore.com, use the promo code Jasta10. Tell them Jasta saying, give them a follow on Instagram, Indie Merch Store. Now back to the show. But it's great to see you that, you're getting back at it again. You're staying busy. And I love this card. Everybody can check it out this Thursday on ESPN2. It's awesome that they're giving you that respect too and putting you on the main card. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Cesar Ferreira is no joke too, man. What's the strategy?
Whoop his ass. No, I mean, so him and I we were supposed to fight in like 2013, I guess he said, in the UFC. His name's come across my desk or whatever you want to call it. I don't have a desk, but his name's come across a few times and it never worked out. So here we are fighting in PFL. He got a quick like 20-second knockout on his first round. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. I'm behind on points for the PFL point structure. So to me, anything less than a first round finish is a loss. So I'm just going to go balls to the wall for first round for sure. And then worry about it after.
Right on. Do you feel like this system of points, the way that they're doing it, do you feel like it actually lends to the fact that fighters will go harder and want and look for that knockout?
I think it does actually, because you need to, right? Like we all know what the scoreboard says. So there's no secret. I'm sure it's no secret for him that I'm going to come out as hard as possible. And he probably wants to slow it down, you know, because he's already leading the division. He's got to stay safe to move on and be injury free. And it's my job to make sure he's not injury free.
Now, with this system, there's still judges, correct? The winner of the fight gets 3 points, but the fight is not judged by that, right? Like the judges have their similar system, or is it they have to go by this PFL system?
No, all the judging is the same. So the judging is done by the New Jersey Athletic Commission, and then the PFL point structure goes off of their decision, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like their own system based off the judging system.
Yeah.
So there's no bonus point if it goes to decision, which lends to the immediacy and the urgency to get a knockout.
Yeah. So the amount of points you can get go down each round.
Right. Okay.
So
Now, is that confusing for fans, or do you think that fans like this? I mean, it's good to have a different gimmick and get people talking, I think.
yeah, I think it's confusing as hell for everybody, because even my closest friends and guys in the gym, I've explained numerous times like how this works. And even before I left, guys are like, so how do the points work? And it's like my 500th time having that conversation. So I don't think people fully grasp it, but it should catch on. And it's not that hard to understand if you just pay attention.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it. And this card is stacked, man. I'm impressed with PFL. They're bringing a lot of great talent in. I mean, when Vinny Magalhaes, how do you say it?
Mangalesh.
Magalesh. When Shoeface and Vinny Magalesh is on the prelims, I mean, that's pretty crazy to me, because the main card, you got Rory McDonald. Shout out to Rory. He's down for the medal. He's cool. I love that dude. Gleison Tebow was fucking ripped and looking good. Yeah, here we go. Evan, our guest producer, coming with the screen share. Thank you, Evan. Look at this. Look at Gleison Tebow. He's older than me and looks so good.
He's jacked. He's like a bowling ball.
Can I scroll down, Evan, or can you? Let's see.
I got it.
Okay. It's Cooper the third versus.
Have you seen Ray Cooper fight?
I don't think I have yet.
You got to watch him. I love watching that guy fight. He's a tank, man. He sleeps everybody. I think he's won the tournament twice now. I mean, he beat the hell out of Jake Shields and some big names. He's not like a household name yet, but the dude is exciting as hell to watch.
Oh, I can't wait. This is great. I even saw some books are picking this up now. I noticed on one of the books I'm on that they had Bellator, which I never see on the main book that I bet on. And I won on Bellator the other night, and I was psyched.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I hedged a little bit. I'm not going to front. I was taking Lima, and then I got cold feet, and I started thinking, you know what? I don't think it's going to happen. And sure enough, because you know what? I kind of have this EVOV rule. If the name ends with an EV or an OV, I take that guy.
What is that? Because they're Russian?
Yeah, or from Georgia or Ukraine or Belarus or any of those
wrestlers.
Yes. Because those guys are serious. But OV is more points than EV.
You're gonna have to write this out.
It's gonna be like the point system for PFL.
Are you a big sports bettor?
I'm not. I just like this guy, welterweight Magomed Karamov. It ends with an OV. He's fighting Curtis Millender, who I've seen fight a bunch of times. I like Curtis, but I gotta go with the OV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think they could be a solid bet. Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta go with the OV. In metal, when you have the OV, you're like super black metal. Like if it's Wolves of Siberia or whatever, the of is an OV.
I got you. So you got to go with the OV.
I got to do it. Now let's talk about Shoeface versus Vinny Magalesh. I think I'm going to take Vinny by sub.
Man, that's a good fight. They're both world champions in jiu-jitsu. I'm actually pumped that they put that fight on. I'm going to be watching that before my fight. It should be interesting. I think Shootface might be better on the feet, but I honestly don't know who's better on the ground. I've trained with Vinny before, and that guy's a fucking wizard on the ground. So who knows?
He's amazing and handsome to boot. Got a lot of handsome bastards on this card. You know what I mean?
Don't bet on
that
that.
Filthy Tom?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't take the pretty boy, right? Take the scrappy, sort of ugly.
You never know. You never know. Did you just call me sort of ugly?
No. I would think you've probably done some modeling here and there, right? What have you done?
No.
Come on, a catalog.
Man, when they take my pictures for here, I think it's like fucking peeling paint for them because I don't even know what to do. So I just stand there. It's like Talladega Nights. I was just telling my girlfriend that I'm like, I don't know what to do with my hands or anything. They have to tell me everything to do. Otherwise I don't move. I just stand there frozen. They'll be like, all right, well, like move around or something. And I just stand there fucking deer in headlights.
Well, the promo packages they put together for this are pretty cool. See, there you go. Look at that. See, if you just put like a JC Penney catalog thing behind you there, I would believe it. Like if you were selling the UFC shorts for JC Penney, is JC Penney even still a thing?
I was just going to ask that.
I hope I'm not invested. Evan guest produces for this show, but his main show is the Cash Daddy show. And if you were invested in JC Penney, would you still have money right now, Evan? Can we see what the stock price is?
I think you would probably be bankrupt, to be honest. JC Penney stock.
It's like 13 cents a share.
A 52-week high was $1.25.
Man.
Okay. Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah. You know what else I looked up today? Because I was going to buy it because I saw this kid on Snapchat was promoting Rolls Royce. And I was like, that's weird. Rolls Royce is going after the Snapchat crowd. So I said, let me check the stock price. Do you want to pull it up? Because I couldn't believe it's over the counter. And I couldn't believe how low the price was for Rolls Royce. You would think that would be like a premier stock.
Yeah, it's sitting at 4 cents.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
I'm gonna buy some stock just so I can tell people I'm part owner of Rolls Royce. I'm gonna use that as a line.
The only way to go is up, unless you buy like 100,000 shares and then it goes down to 1 penny. You'd be bummed. We're already losing listeners because we went from talking about MMA and this awesome card that you're on Thursday night to stocks. But because Evan's here, I figured we would. And Evan, you know what? Shoot Phil a message too. I don't see him joining in here. If he would, I would have said, unmute his mic. So right now I'm going to give some shout outs to people here from Patreon. We got Nick Metal, Andy Wilson, Lee Walker, Ryan Levson, Gary Johnson, Single YD in the house, Jacob. It doesn't say your last name, Jacob. Sorry. Adam Amico and Jacob's sick. I can't see the rest of your name. I'm sorry. But if you got a question for Chris or myself, tuning in from Tennessee, Lee Walker's in the house. Whitechapel's my favorite fellow hillbilly metalheads. That's right. Well, hopefully Phil's going to join because I think on one email he wasn't copied with the link, and then I sent an email out to all three of you. Which, Chris, you got it. So you're here. I'm hoping Phil gets it.
Yeah, I've got nothing better to do than just look at my email all day long. So I don't miss them.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about this UFC card. Actually, let's talk about, did you watch the full card this past weekend? UFC 263?
Yeah, it was a good one.
Now, in a way, Nate Diaz kind of gets a win because he didn't get finished, right?
That guy's stock never goes down. As long as he fights like that, people love him. Like, it's like I like him too. So I don't mean this in like a bad way. It's like a cult following. Like, he can do no wrong. If he has little glimpses of winning in the fight, he won. And
yes.
Like star power is a weird thing, right? Star power is weird because like anybody else that would not work for. They would just talk about how much you got your ass beat.
Yes. It's, you know what? It's like, I call it the Mastodon effect, Mastodon can go in, and they don't do this anymore, but when they did, they could go into a venue and like destroy the backstage. Brent could like pee in the catering, you know, dive off the balcony and like break somebody's arm. And they would just keep getting every big tour and selling more records. And it was awesome. And people loved it. But if I did that, and I have done that, I get thrown off the tour. You know what I mean? And because it's like you look at that guy and you just expect it, and you're like, oh, that's just Brent. But if someone else is doing it, they're just being a dick. Do you know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah. It's insane how it works. Like the public persona of star power is insane. I don't think anybody knows like how that works really.
It's like beauty. It's like people don't, and I'm sure most people don't want to hear this, but a really good looking girl or a really good looking guy, they just get treated differently. They just get hooked up. Like I knew this girl who, I mean, she had people from like Saudi Arabia, Dubai. Oh, I mean, listen, hundreds of thousands of dollars would fly her all over. And normal people, she couldn't even talk about that with. It was just like, what are you going to say? And it's sometimes band dudes I've seen that with as well. Like on a big tour with a superstar rock dude, they just, it's like a zebra at the zoo or something. That people freak the fuck out. They're like, if you saw a zebra right now in Atlantic City, you'd be like, oh my God, come here. There's a fucking zebra on the beach in Atlantic City. Everybody be freaking out, taking pictures. That's like Nate Diaz. He's like a zebra. You can't control him. You can't put him in a circus.
No, I mean, it's nuts. Even his fans are like, you won that fight, you know, and he's great actually behind the mic because he spins it. His spin on it was, if that was a fight to the death, it was over. And so everybody's like, he's right. He won the fight.
Yeah. And Leon, you know, who's great, who's obviously super talented, his stock kind of goes down because everybody expected him to finish Nate. And everybody was saying, especially on the books, the odds were actually the casual better money started coming in heavy for Nate.
Did it?
Closer to the day of the fight. But I thought that was cool because if you had taken Leon, if you got it early on and then the odds change, you could have got a way better value on Leon later. So, but I didn't take Leon. I'm Diaz brothers all the way. I took Nate and I lost.
Yeah. I like those guys, man. They never change on camera, off camera. That's for sure.
Yeah. The star power
that is them.
It's incredible. So who do you think Nick's going to fight?
Man, who was I seeing? I don't know. I feel like it's going to have to be a name still. Those guys don't want to come out to fight just the contenders. Just like Nate said, he wanted to come out and fight somebody that I think either ranked or exciting name. I don't know, but it's kind of fun. Does he come back at 170? Have they even said? Is it 185? I don't know, but there's probably some fun fights that they can match him up in there.
I liked how they did that catch weight for Paul Daly and what's his face? Now his name is escaping me now at this Bellator. I think they should do that for the guys with the big names in UFC. Like just do a catch weight. Don't make them kill themselves to go down.
Yeah, just put on the fun fights.
Yeah.
If they don't have any rankings or title contentions behind them, just put on the ones people want to see.
Exactly. I have you thought about doing that in your local promotions, like when you're not doing Glory or PFL, like getting a name guy who's in between deals and building the card around you guys locally? I feel like more fighters should be doing that.
It's happened, but the problem is those local promotions don't want to pay the kind of money. I always say, like, I'll fight anybody, but the money's got to match the opponent, right? I'll fight for $200 if you want to wheel in a dead body and let me like beat the hell out of it. But if you want me to fight like a name guy that's tough, you know, that I'm risking my injury or whatever for, like, I want to get paid for it. And those local promoters are like, well, we're used to paying guys $1,000. And, you know, so you're like, no, thanks. It's a big risk for no money.
But I mean, be the co-promoter, get your promoter's license and start taking it into your own hands in a way that you can build out the card and have some equity in it. So that way it's almost like those extra tickets that you sell are like pay-per-view points. If you were back in the UFC or, doing another type of pay-per-view event, like we're seeing with these TikTokers and YouTubers.
Yeah, it's possible, man. I would love to get into some of those boxing fights too, because that's what we're talking about. They're just putting on fun fights. They don't really mean anything, but people want to see them.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
I think it could be good because I know that just doing that one event, we played, I forget when it was, and I saw you, it was in Denver. I know that promoter had also done some fights, and he had like POD play one of them, and some other bands, and that they did well. They were well attended.
Yeah, I was the main event for both of those during POD and Everlast.
Yeah.
It was fun. Yeah, they were playing on stage, and I was fighting on stage.
They should do that more, but then also get a YouTuber or a TikToker or guys who have a name who are in between. Like we had a local fight promotion here. I don't think the fight happened, but they were able to book Tim Sylvia. I think something happened with medicals where the commission wouldn't let it go through. But man, so many people, like dudes that I know that aren't even super into, like casuals, they're not super into it, but they were like, oh my god, the Maniac is going to be here fighting, like I want to go to that. For a local promotion, that was a big name and a draw.
Yeah, I think that would be the other key, is going to places that are like a little bit smaller or whatever. I mean, you can't go to LA and do it. People see those stars and stuff all over the place, or big cities, New York. It's not a bad idea. I don't know what the laws are behind like fighting on your own promotion or anything. I know Mayweather does it, but I don't know about MMA. Some of the legal stuff's a little different.
Yeah, I think if the state and the commission depends, like to get it sanctioned. But I also think if it's an exhibition, that's a workaround.
Oh yeah, that is true. Because with the exhibition, you don't need the commission.
Right. So, and that I think is how maybe Ellis Mania gets around it. Cause I think Jason Ellis is fighting Lewis from our network and it's an exhibition. And I think they're doing it in Vegas.
Are they? Yeah. I've always wanted to go to one of the Ellis Manias. They look awesome.
Dude, we should try to go to that. Let's meet up and go to that. Cause I hope that Lewis is going to come out to my song that I did for a special. I'll have to ask him and find out. But you know what? It's that one. I don't know if they're really promoting it right, because I haven't seen a lot of stuff with it. And then this one that happened over the weekend with the two YouTubers versus TikTokers, I just heard about that today.
YouTubers versus TikTokers.
I didn't hear about that.
Wait, was that where Lamar Odom fought what's his face? The Backstreet Boys brother?
Oh, that I saw a little quick clip of him knocking the kid out on Instagram. That was sad.
That was
Carter.
Aaron
what
Carter.
Was it, Evan?
Aaron Carter.
Can we show that, or we'll just or will we get in trouble?
Show him getting knocked out or knocked
I
down.
Bet you. Yeah,
that might be copyright. I don't know.
It was on Instagram and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah.
Can you pull up the YouTube versus TikTokers card, and just so we can see who fought on that? Because this is smart. I know this is also probably the start to the downfall of society. Like when people are having to book themselves fighting each other rather than just making content and doing what they're supposed to do.
I'm old, man. I don't even know who half these people are, like the YouTubers and TikTokers. I didn't know who the Paul brothers were until the first like boxing fight, when I was like, who are these guys? I don't sit there and watch those things. Yeah,
me neither. No, I started learning about the brothers there. Yeah, when the fight got booked again. Well, no, I had heard of the one who he did something in Japan where he went to like a forest and there was a guy who had just like hung himself. It was terrible. And he like did a video and it went viral. And then people were like, dude, what the fuck? Have some respect. The guy just took his own life and you're like putting it on YouTube. And then I guess he apologized and then tried to get his life together and not be just so blatantly greedy for fame.
Yeah, it wasn't just one guy. That was the suicide forest in Japan. There's hundreds of people that go and hang themselves there. He took a video of it, put it on YouTube.
That is fucked. Like,
They should probably cut that forest down. I don't know.
Right? But then they're just going to go to a bridge or something. And then it's like, then you got traffic backed up. And, you know, that's the whole other issue. Sorry. I know it's terrible. It's a dark, look, little dark comedy thrown into the fucking MMA.
We need more of those forests. Somebody said.
Shout out to Adam Amico in the chat. He says we need more of those forests. Dude, if we had a suicide forest in here, like by me, I wouldn't want to live anywhere near there. I would be like, all the real estate would go down near that area. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Positive vibes only. Can we get a positive forest over here? Like, let's get a life forest where we all go and just fucking hang and chill.
Like a party forest.
Yes, let's get a party forest. More party forests. Jacob Cormier says magical forest. Yeah, more magic forest, less suicide forest, please. Or you put them side by side and you have like a fork in the road and you got to make the choice.
Yeah, you got to choose which way you're going. Hopefully you don't pick the wrong turn by accident.
So who do you think Leon Edwards is going to fight next? You think it's going to be Masvidal?
I think why not? I mean, because I think Dana said that Colby's fighting Usman, right?
Yeah.
And let's be honest, like I'm more interested in that fight than I am Leon, even though Leon has deserved it. Again, that was a risky fight for him, right? Like he took the fight with Nate. Nate's a hard guy to finish. I mean, how many times has Nate been finished? And so
maybe once, and that was probably 10 years ago, Josh Thompson, but he wasn't even, he was wobbled, but I
think it was like a body kick or something, but yeah, so to get a title fight, they want you to win excitingly all the way up, and Nate was a tough one to take. So credit to him for taking it. Name value, I'm sure he made good money on it, but I think it kind of screwed him over a little bit.
I think so too. He needs to now book something soon against another big name like Nate or someone else in the division who he hasn't fought yet, but that is not such a risk that if he does lose by split decision, or if he doesn't put up a finish or a good showing, that he's not going to get, or it could just, you know, you could probably fight on the wrong day, a day that another big event is going on, or a day that the ratings don't do well, and then that could hurt your real estate, right? I mean, there's all sorts of factors.
Or maybe Leon just calls out Nick now and starts selling it like, I beat your little brother, now I'm gonna beat you.
You should see, you need to get it. You need to get a management job or some sort of marketing. I mean, I love it. That might
be the smart play for
him. No, that's a really good idea. If you were to do, say, the I don't want to say, I hate the freak show fight term, but if you were to do a freak show fight and it was no weight class and you could get somebody with a name and fly him to Denver, who would you want? Like, who's someone you always wanted to fight, but he's not in your weight class, but you thought, man, that would be sick.
But the person is a fighter?
Yeah. Or even they don't have to be a fighter.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Who would be a fun one who would be a fun person to fight?
Like, could you get Bob Sapp? Could you fly Bob Sapp up?
I don't think I want to be, I mean, that guy takes dives, but I don't know if I want to be in there with like some 350-pound juiced up monster. He might fall on me even if I knock him out, he might fall on me.
Right.
Bring back Tank Abbott.
Oh my God. Tank would do it. I bet you, if you were like, yo, listen, I got $1,000 a case of beer. What's Tank up to?
I was just going to say, what do you think that guy's doing right now? Like, if you just made it up right now, somebody said dead. I hope he's not dead. Is he?
No, Tank Abbott. He can't be. He'll live forever. That's like a type of guy that just live forever.
Yeah. He's like the kind of guy, like drugs, alcohol, nothing's killing that guy. It'll be something dumb, like jaywalking.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like someone with a name who has, like, couldn't you go to Brazil and fight like Vitor and have Vitor just promote it in Brazil?
Yeah. He's fighting again too, I think.
He wanted to do like a Legends League, but I think they should do a Legends League, but fight some of the younger guys who are in between contracts or in between promotions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, back then I always threw my name in the hat to fight Vitor. I remember he was supposed to fight Uriah Hall, and I was in Kansas City, and I was just cornering, and I went out all night. I showed up in the hotel. I got back to the hotel while they were weighing in, and Uriah Hall went to the hospital. So I was like still a little bit drunk from the night before. I went up to McMaynard. And I was like, yo, I'll fight Vitor tomorrow. If you do it at 205, I'll get on the scale right now. And he looked at me like, you know, I probably smelled like booze. I was in clothes from like going out the night before. It was like 9 a.m. He was like, we just canceled the fight, man. You're good.
Still respect, man. That's huge to go in against Vitor. I mean, you did fight Jacare twice. I mean, that's balls enough. I mean, you probably, if you come out now, you probably your balls of steel will be sparking on the walkout.
Yeah, I always wanted to fight Vitor. I always wanted to fight Lieben. Like a lot of those fights seemed fun. Lieben fights like a zombie. But as far as like celebrities or somebody that would be fun. I don't know. Like Prime Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah. I always wanted to see some of the wrestler guys that could fight get in there. Like I always thought a guy like Rob Van Dam or some of these guys, I always thought, man, they would do so well.
Yeah, like Bobby Lashley fought with Bellator for a while. He used to train with us in Denver.
Yeah, I sponsored him a couple times. Hey, everybody, this episode is brought to you by Rebel 8, the dopest streetwear brand on the block. There's a reason why they've done collabs with everybody from Slipknot to Slayer to Terror to Rancid. It's one of the most iconic streetwear logos ever. Okay, you see me rock it in my photo shoots, magazine spreads, in the videos like Honor Never Dies, on stage all over the world. I love Rebel 8. I love the quality cuts of the shirts. I love the shorts. I love the hats. It's all available now, but it's available in limited sizes and quantities, and it sells out quick. So head on over to rebel8.com, use the promo code JJ20, and you'll save 20% off your order, but order soon. The pocket tees look amazing. Get them before they're gone. Rebel8.com, promo code JJ20. Now back to the show.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, he's super cool. I'm so happy for him and MVP having their success in WWE again. And, you know, look, man, you keep showing up. That works in any walk of life, any field, any career. You just keep showing up and opportunities will happen. It's like preparedness and luck meeting each other.
Yeah, for sure. Showing up and not being like a shitbag, making sure people like you too. Because if people hate you, you don't get the same opportunities.
For sure. For sure. I could see you and Chris Lieben doing like bare knuckle. Can he get licensed still? Because he had that one fight in bare knuckle and it was bloody and wild. I was cheering. It was awesome.
Yeah, I was talking with bare knuckle before I signed with PFL, just because I want to do like all the, you know, I did kickboxing with Glory. I've been doing MMA forever. I wouldn't mind boxing. I want to like check them all off before I'm done, you know, before I'm too old.
Yeah, that's great, man. That's awesome that you're open to that, because there is money to be made and there is exciting fights out there to be had in all these different promotions. I just enjoy all of it. Like I had Robin Black on the last episode that we did for Fight Buddies, and he's the great. Same. Yeah, he's great. He's the same way. Like we'll watch anybody fight. We just like to watch it.
Now I got to turn this question around on you. If you could fight any rocker or artist, we'll just say artist. Who are you fighting
for charity? We shout out to Sam, right? Evan, what's Sam's thing? He's like,
anybody he doesn't like, I'll fight him for charity.
Yeah, I'll fight him for charity. So in Sam's honor, I'm gonna say Bill Gates. I'll fight Bill Gates for charity. You know, but that wouldn't be fair. Like if I said, yeah, well, who else would Sam want to fight? He'd want to fight Fauci,
Hillary Clinton, Biden, any politician ever.
He even says it like when it's people who have already passed away, like Lee Harvey Oswald or what, you know what I mean? Like, but Bill Gates would be hilarious. That would be great.
What about any metal singers?
No, you know what?
I'm stirring the pot right now. See, I'm going to start my own promotion. You're going to headline it.
There you go. You know, one time Ellis asked me, he said, hey, do you want to, I forget when it was a bunch of years back, but I said, yo, man, why do I got to come there and get punched in the face? Can't I perform? Like can't we just come there and play a show and do like what I have to do? But I was saying back then, I think Derek from Sepultura was gonna fight someone, and I was telling Ellis, get Adam Deuce from Machine Head, because he was like, whenever I toured with him, I almost saw him fight with Brent. I actually had to help Brent from Mastodon get out of there because he punched Adam Deuce in the dick as soon as we walked in. And Adam was going to kill him.
Move right there.
But no, you know what? I don't know. I mean, if you really wanted to sell it, maybe Manson, you know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
Because that would sell. It'd have to be something where we could make a lot of money for charity, and it'd have to be a bigger name than me.
Yeah.
And plus,
imagine, how cool would that be? Like, you and somebody else, you either do shows like back to back with each other, like a battling thing, right? Like a festival. Your stage is here, yours is here, then you fight after.
Yeah, there you go. and then we could really sell it. But see, I don't know. I think with all that stuff that's happening with him, he's gonna, like, there's arrest warrants and stuff, and he's got no cardio. I can't see him having any cardio.
Let's be real. That guy is skinny as hell. I think he breaks the leg stepping off the curb wrong.
No, he's not skinny anymore. Let's pull up a picture. Evan.
Is he not?
No, and so that way he might have some. And he's a big dude, and he, and he will throw down. He's not afraid.
What's his
name? He looks
again?
like the wind would break.
Marilyn Manson.
Oh, Marilyn Manson. Yeah. I thought you were talking about somebody else. I was like, doesn't he have he's missing a rib, right?
No, you know what? Look, he's not. Oh. Say what you want about the dude, but his life is not going well right now. So it's just not a good idea. But for star power and for hype to get tickets sold and pay-per-views bought, and and knowing I also probably have a good chance because it's a large target. And if it's MMA, now see, if it's boxing, I don't know. If it's MMA, I think he's got no takedown defense and no cardio.
Oh, 100% agree.
But if it's just boxing, he's got to look. I've been hit with a lot of things, and I've yet to be knocked out, but I know I've been concussed multiple times.
That's all right, as long as you didn't go out.
So let's talk about this card coming up Saturday night. Now, see, hopefully the metal blogs don't run with this and get me in trouble. Then I got managers calling me. Like, I'm not pitching this as an idea. I don't need his. I know people who work for him too.
Just tell me it's my idea.
Yeah.
I was pushing it.
This card, I love this card Saturday. I love your card too. This is a great week for fight fans. Evan, is there a Bellator card Friday? Can you check that?
Yeah.
If you don't mind. But I love Korean Zombies back, and Dan Ige. How do you say? Is it?
I think it's Ige. I think it's Ige.
He's from Hawaii, right? He's a fun fighter too to watch.
Yeah, they're fighting each other, right?
Yep, that's this Saturday. The Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige. That's the main event.
No Bellator this Friday.
Okay, so Thursday we got PFL. We take Friday off. Saturday, more violence with the Korean Zombie. I like this Alexei Olenek versus Sergey Spivak. I mean, that's a old lion versus a young lion fight.
Yeah.
I stopped betting on Olenek because I lost so many fucking times. It was like I could never get it right. Like he subs the one dude with that crazy, what's his submission called?
Man, he does it's like an Ezekiel choke, but it's the weirdest thing.
The
like,
constrictor.
He lets people get on top of him and then he chokes them. Like, the best position that you could pretty much be in for MMA is mount. Like, you're sitting on top of the person and he seems to strangle people from there. Imagine going into a fight and be like, get on top of me and I'm going to choke you.
Yeah.
He just walks in the bar. It's like, who wants it? Get on top of me though.
I want to say, okay, was it the Dawkins fight? Dawkins, see, that division, that heavyweight division is, it's not that stacked. right? And Walt Harris is going to the end of the line. But didn't Walt beat Alexi?
I think so. I'm not positive. I'm not sure now.
I do like Dawkins, but this fight, Spivak versus Alexi, I'm not betting on it. I'm staying the fuck away from that because I know if I take Spivak, then Alexi's gonna choke him out.
Yeah.
And if I take Alexi, he's gonna get knocked out by Spivak. I just don't have luck with that dude.
Yeah, he kind of shows up here and there. He's not very consistent. He's also, I think he's like 44, isn't he?
I couldn't believe that Damian Maia was older than him.
Really?
Yeah, I think Damian Maia is the oldest or was the oldest. Did he retire after this weekend?
No, he was asking for another fight. I think he was asking to fight Nate Diaz from what I saw on Instagram, but Dana said he's done.
Wow.
Hopefully they give him one more. I feel like he's earned it, but give him a good stylistic matchup.
Dude, here you go. For your promotion, Diego Sanchez. He's too small for you though, right? To fight you.
Yeah, I think he's like 155 or
170.
170 now.
Yep.
I think I would almost feel bad hitting that guy. I think he's got some serious brain damage. But I mean, if the money was right, fuck it.
Well, what about if you booked someone who's also a good local draw and they headline and then you do the co-main event?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm going to start my own fucking night.
You should. We'll do it together.
Like, I don't have enough things to do.
Yeah. You can co-promote it with me.
Remember when that Affliction show had Megadeth?
Yeah.
Right? What was that? I think I did the walkout song for Arlovsky for that.
Yeah, I think. Is that when
he
you did
lost?
it?
I think he lost to Fedor.
Yeah, when he jumped in the air and Fedor like shot him out of the air like a bird.
Yeah, that was crazy. Matt Brown, Diego Lima.
We can't pick up against Matt Brown. That guy's an animal.
He's the
He
best.
was training in Denver with me for a while.
Yeah, he was at the show when you guys came out to Warp Tour.
Yeah.
Dude, that was one of the days where in the morning, the night before and in the morning, everything had gone wrong that could go wrong. And I'm like you're a vet in your world. Like I'm a vet in the like I did Warp Tour in 98. Like I didn't want to be doing it in fucking 2017. I mean, I appreciated the opportunity, but it was like, it was a step backwards kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That was a fun day though.
It was fun because you guys came and we did the live podcast and the fans were there and that was a great show. But that morning I was pushed to my limit and I was like, I got to get out of here right after the show and keep my sanity and keep my sobriety. That was my main thing on Warp Tour. Was my whole thing was like, if I could stay sober through Warp Tour, I can do anything in life.
Yeah.
And Matt wanted to go out and it was like I think his family had gone away for the weekend. So he was like, dude, this is perfect. Let's go rage. And I wanted to so bad. And I had to turn him down. And then I was like, fuck, man, he's going to think I'm the biggest pussy ever. But I know if I go out with him the night, because he thinks like it's going to be fun. But when I drink, I'm not fun. I go to jail or worse or whatever. So in a way, it was like
he might have thought that was fun. I don't know. I think I asked you if you were going out too, and you were like, "I'm going back to my room. I'm beat. I'm done." Yeah.
Half of sobriety is telling people you can't hang out. Actually, 90% of it.
Yeah, I mean, you can hang out, but it's got to be tough, right? Are you still sober?
Yes. Well, I don't say sober. I don't drink. But like if I and listen, anybody who's trying to get sober, don't listen to me. Just do, there's so many great programs, so many great free resources. But if some people say CBD, if you take CBD, you're not sober.
Yeah.
So if you take caffeine, you're not sober. If like I ate a pot brownie, I mean, it was kind of by accident in Amsterdam. You know what I mean? Mark Morton would say, you ain't fucking sober. And that's fine. I'm not, I can't drink because one is too many and 1,000 is not enough.
Yeah. I mean, I think as long as you can control yourself and what you do, like if you're eating pot brownies, but you can control yourself, then whatever. It's only a problem when it's a problem. Don't listen to me either if you're sober, because I'm not. I mean, I am right now, but
but the point you're trying to make, I think, is like, yeah, you're not going to say, okay, now I got to eat pot brownies every day.
Yeah, everything's in moderation, right? There's a time and a place.
Yeah, after I ate the little piece of the pot brownie and I felt weird, I didn't want to do that again for 2 years or whatever. It didn't trigger an addictive pattern.
Yeah, then that's good.
So, and I think that's also probably because it's a plant, but we don't want to get into that because there's people that are like, hey, I don't drink, but I take, kratom or whatever. And I don't take that either, but because can be habit forming.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if that's on the banned list. What is on the PFL banned list?
Oh, that's a funny question, actually. So last show, Tom Lawler and I are the only ones that got tested out of all these juiced up guys here. Like, him and I are like the least jacked guys on the card, and randomly him and I were selected. I'll tell you this. So like, I smoke weed normally, whatever. I live in Denver. I'm sponsored by Live Well Cannabis, but I stop, to be clear, for the drug test. So 30 days, I don't drink leading up to fights or do anything. So I was clean for the test. But these other guys, man, I get on the elevators, these guys fighting, everybody smells like weed and this and that. I'm wondering if I get tested again, I'm going to lose my mind if nobody else does. Because these guys, they should all pretty much fail. Plus, like my opponent, Cesar, he's fucking juiced up. Let's be real. He put on like 30 or 40 pounds of muscle since he left the UFC. You don't do that when you're 35.
Whatever supplements, say Caesar, call me and get me that supplement wherever GNC you're going to. Help a brother out.
Yeah. There's another guy here. He's got like veins coming out of his chest that's fucking huge. I'm like, there's no way that guy's clean.
No, when you got the vein, like in your neck, and then it goes to this muscle over on the shoulder, and it's like a perfect cup, and you look like you're wearing like hockey pads. What is that? That is crazy.
Don't ask me. I don't know, but I love it. Yeah. So PFL, I'm not really sure. I tried finding out because some states actually allow THC in your system. So I was trying to find out. It helps me sleep. I only do it at night, go to bed. But I don't know, because kratom, I've had kratom a few times, but I didn't do or bring any of that just because you don't know.
See, there's a sleep podcast. I'll find out the name of it and I'll send it to you. There's a sleep podcast I heard where they said if you do THC to go to sleep, the half-life actually kind of makes you wake up, and sometimes you won't get fully awake, but like 2 or 3 in the morning, it wears off and it triggers this other thing in your hormones, and you might still be asleep, but you're not in that deep sleep that you normally get. Yeah. I thought that was weird because I know a lot of people on the road who need those edibles and stuff just because they don't want to sleep like when the bus is moving. Some dudes can do it, but other dudes, that bus, you hit the rumble strip. Like we got this one driver, we call him Rumble Strip Ronnie, because every night's like, and you're like, oh my God, here, this is it. We're going into a ravine. But then if you take those things that like Joey Diaz takes, and you're just out. But
Joey Diaz takes it, I'm not taking it.
The Stars of Death or whatever.
Fucking tranquilizer.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? Like, are you really sleeping or are you just out?
I don't know. I mean, it makes me feel great, but I don't have a problem sleeping anyway. So when I say I take them for sleep, it just like relaxes me at night. I can sleep anywhere, man. If I get on a plane, I'm asleep before we take off and I wake up when we land. I fought in
one of those.
Yeah, I fought in Australia once, and I knew the promotion wasn't testing, so I brought some edibles with me. I ate them as soon as I got on the plane. I watched one movie, and I woke up when we landed in Sydney. I never got up. I never got up to go to the bathroom. Nothing.
What?
Just like, yeah, it was like 18 hours. I was just unconscious.
Oh,
But
dude,
like
I
driving,
envy you.
driving makes me more sleepy than anything when I'm driving. So it, I don't know.
Oh,
I'm like
you're
a
not.
baby, man.
You're nod Ferratu when you're driving. You start nodding.
Yeah.
Be careful, man. That'll get you. That's the worst one. I punch myself in the leg to stay up.
I'm the worst person to go on a road trip with because I'll call shotgun and like sleep half the way.
You know, Kirk was in my other band, Kingdom of Sorrow. You know, Kirk's in Crowbar. He on the flight to Australia. I said, dude, I have to sleep. He was in the bar in the airport. He was supposed to not drink for the whole tour, you know, in Australia. But he's like, well, then I'm going to just, you know, tie one on before we get on the plane, rocker. And, you know, he's causing a scene in there. And I'm like, dude, we're boarding. Come on. Like, you got to go. Like, we got to get in there. So I get him to his seat. I situate him, and he's like not that far from me. He's maybe like 10 or 11 rows behind me. And I told him the whole time, I said, dude, you have to log on and choose your seat. Like, that was why we got you this like gold, whatever, premium world, you know, world traveler thing where you get, you know, you get to pick your seat and you get like a special meal. And, you know, he never did it. So he got randomly assigned in this other section because other people, you know what I mean? It was like, if you don't do it, it gets assigned
like first come, first serve.
Yeah. So then he gets randomly assigned like this middle seat in this other section, and he couldn't find it. And the stewardess was like, sir, you have to sit. Like, we're going to take off soon. So I get him back there and get him situated. And it's these 3 girls there that are going to school in Australia or something. And he's in the middle and he's like, darling, please just don't worry about it. It's going to be a great flight. You're going to get there safe. And they're like stressed out. They just left their parents or whatever. And he sits down. I'm not kidding you. He's like, I got to get my, and he's just out. And I said, all right, you girls, if there's any problem, I'm in, you know, 32D or whatever, just come find me. His name is Kirk. He's a sweetheart. He looks scary, but he's cool. Like, but if he's blacked out drunk and he starts acting crazy, like, I don't need to have some issue when we land. Just come get me and I'll figure it out. Don't go to the stewardess first. Come get me. And so about 2 hours in, I start hearing singing like Scorpions, Saxon, Motorhead. He's raging. These girls are raging. He's buying them shots. These are normies, like straight up, like they don't know any metal. They're like, he's the greatest person we've ever met in our life. I'm like, you say that now, but it can turn crazy pretty quick. And then the stewardess came and said, hey, I got to cut your friend off or whatever. And then I go back there and he's still raging. And those 3 are passed out.
I need to travel with Kirk.
Oh, he's like, you know, here I am, rock me like, and the girls are singing it with him, and people were cheering. Yeah, he's
that's amazing.
He's a lunatic, but we'll get him on the podcast. We'll see now if he's got that old man strength. If you don't, and he's very hard to take down. Anytime we've had a physical altercation, it's bad, and he bites. So. We had a merch guy who I said jokingly, like, hey, go in his bunk, because he would put food in his bunk because he didn't want people eating it. I said, go in his bunk. And he had like a hot dog in there and like like a big gulp like that he got at the restaurant. And I joked around with the merch guy. I said, go and take Kirk's food and come out like it's yours. And I should have never did this, because he jumped up and he grabbed this kid, and the fear of God in this kid's face. I thought the kid was going to cry. And he's like, I'm just kidding. Jamey put me up to it. I didn't touch it. He was like, I was going to kill you, fool. And then later on, the merch dude told me, he's like, I've never felt old man strength like that.
Yeah, it's a real thing, man. I need to party with Kirk.
Dude, he has the whole bar singing karaoke. He'll do karaoke. Like, he'll go all night.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's like, you ever hang out with Carwin?
No, but I heard he's a fun one to hang with.
Yeah, man. I drank with him a couple times, but he's like a gorilla, and he like wants to wrestle when he gets drunk and stuff. He picked me up. I mean, I'm not small at all, but to him, he's a fucking giant. He picked me up one time like against a brick wall, like one-handed. My feet were like off the ground. And I was like, all right, quit playing. Like I felt like a child. And he's all drunk, like trying to wrestle and stuff. I'm like, you're gonna like break my legs or something. He's like 300 pounds walking around, you know. You've met him. Fuck, the guy's huge.
I shook his hand. I'm not kidding you. Like, say this is his hand and this was my hand. It was like a little, it was like, it was, and then it might have been in a fight night where I think Roy Nelson fought, who did Roy Nelson, maybe Schaub or no, oh, he passed away. Shoot. Oh, no. Pat Barry fought Roy and Schaub fought. No, I forget. I'll have to maybe Evan can look that up. It was a fight night at the Hard Rock, and Shane was there. And I went up to him, you know, like, yo, I did your song. I did, you know, I sponsored, you know, he's like, oh yeah, what's up? And dude, I guess he wears 5XL. They had to make him special.
Yeah, he's got like banana hands. His fingers are like this water bottle. Yeah. Oh man. Those are always the good stories when you get like these people drinking and then they just turn into something else. Like your buddy Kirk. Sounds hilarious, but I could see traveling with him for you. You're probably like, just get us there so I can get to my room.
Oh yeah. And then, you know, there's just, it's, some people love it. And then some people are like, hey, we gotta curtail this. Yeah.
Did you ever have any, I've always wanted to ask this when you're touring, because you were in like Europe and everything a lot, right? Did you guys ever have any issues like just foreign problems where you were like, I don't know if we're making it out of this?
Oh yeah. Tons of times. One time we were going to Serbia, and I got to be careful what I say here. Basically, there was an issue. I thought maybe they were going to turn us away at the border, but we had a lot of vodka and a lot of wine and stuff that we had saved from the dressing rooms, and we just gave them all of that, and they just let us right through.
It's currency over there.
And they were stoked. And these are like young kids. It's like a 19-year-old kid, shaved head, huge, jacked, coming on the bus like, where are you from? What do you do here? You know, and you're like, dude, am I going to jail for the rest of my life? Like, because I got, you know, fucking kratom in a, I don't know, because I got some Tylenol that's unlabeled or something. I don't know. But yeah, we've had, dude, we went to Romania. You ever go to Romania?
I've not been there. No, not yet.
Yo, the show was awesome. We played with Judas Priest and Whitesnake. But when we got there, they were like, if you leave the hotel, you got to call this guy. And it was like a guy who was like, he's like the
gangster out there. He's like,
the fixer. Yeah,
the fixer.
Yeah. Don't go with anybody else. You go with this guy. And there was a lot of stuff going on while we were there. They were like, I guess they shoot a lot of movies there.
Yeah, I think I've heard that actually. I've never been to Romania, but yeah, like your life, like, or your traveling is probably kind of like MMA. There's always some kind of like circus thing that happens where, you know, these cards, let's be real, the guys that get into MMA and fighting, most of them are borderline like psychopaths. So yeah. There's always something, you know, you hear about like somebody, so-and-so got deported or so-and-so's in jail or something happened. So I kind of figured yours was probably similar. You know, those guys, a lot of them party hard.
Yeah. I mean, but somehow, some way, the show will go on and it must go on. And I mean, dude, I heard there was one dude, I'm not kidding you. I won't say who, but they basically were like, we found something in the road case and it carries like a life sentence in jail. But because nobody's saying who put it in the road case, and the authorities didn't want to, like, you know, make it worldwide headlines and like have this whole deal. They just fined like the company $220,000 or some crazy and this dude got away with it. and they just confiscated whatever was in the road case. And I was like, that was when I realized, and the promoters were involved, politicians were involved. That was when I realized, like, when you get to a certain level of fame and money, you can literally do anything. There are no laws there.
A life sentence.
And if you do get caught and you do go to jail, then you did something way worse that didn't make the headlines.
Yeah, for sure. How were you, like, terrified?
No, because I had nothing to do with it. I was there for something else, actually. I wasn't even there for the concerts.
Oh.
And I just heard about it because everybody else started getting grilled by customs.
Oh, man.
Dude, one time I was on a flight with Jack Black, and I don't want to punish him. It was to Australia. It was a long ass flight. And I upgraded with miles or whatever because I wanted to sleep. And this dude did not sleep the whole fucking flight. And he's up and down and up and down and I got Kyle Gass coming on from Tenacious D, his like bandmate. Yeah. I want to ask him about this. I don't know if he's just super, like if he's one of those people that just doesn't sleep, you know, like those people like The Rock and like all these like high functioning people, they sleep like 4 hours. How the fuck do they do that?
Yeah. I don't know. That's not me. They're like insomniacs maybe, or a lot of Adderall or something.
I don't know. This is years ago. This is how many years ago it was. He was shooting King Kong.
Oh shit. That was like 2016, wasn't it?
No, this is like 2003 or so, or 2005.
Was it that long ago?
Evan's quick on the Google.
2005.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think we were going there for Big Day Out. And so I thought they were on the bill. And I was like, I don't remember. It was Beastie Boys, Slipknot, us. So I thought, oh, maybe Tenacious D is like the surprise guest or whatever. So I didn't want to punish him on the flight, but I'm a fan. And, we talked real quick and I was like, fuck it. I'll just say what's up at baggage. And then when we got to baggage, I was like, hey, what's up, man? Are you here for the show? I'm in Hatebreed. I met you at whatever MTV. I host Headbangers Ball. Oh, yeah. What's up? Yeah. No, I'm not here for the show. What's going on? What show? And I was like, oh, it's like Beastie Boys, the Donnas, Slipknot, us. And he's like, oh, no, I'm actually here shooting a movie. I have a layover here. And I'm going to New Zealand or whatever to shoot King Kong. And then the people came for him. He didn't even go through customs. He had his own door out the side with like a separate car. Like, damn, that's the life. I mean, they got it made. The only other time I saw that was, I think, with Aerosmith, where they were on the flight and then all of a sudden, I'm not kidding you, the car pulled up to the flight. So they don't even go in the airport. They just get into the car right, and the bags got off and the whole thing. I'm like, damn, that's living.
Yeah. See, I thought we were special. Like with the UFC, a lot of the foreign countries, before you go, the UFC would send you this letter and be like, when you go through customs, hand them this. Now, if there's any issues or whatever, we'll handle it. You still had to go in the airport. You still had to go through customs and stuff. You basically walk up to the desk and you're like, here's this. They don't speak the same language or anything. It was in Portuguese or whatever the language was. They'd read it and be like, all right, you're good to go. I'm like, man, the UFC just has like worldwide pull, I guess. I don't know. Not that we were bringing anything bad in, but it was interesting. They were like, make sure you bring that letter and hand it to them.
That's the juice. See, I used to have to always fill out these cards and I'm like, I don't know what fucking hotel we're at. I don't know the address. So I would always write some bullshit on it. And then I was on a flight with, that band Bullet for My Valentine?
Yeah.
Dude, I got to shout out their tour manager because we were going someplace scary, like someplace in Southeast Asia where they said, if they even find a pill on you, they'll put you to death or whatever. Like, it was like we had a layover.
Singapore?
It might we played Singapore, but it was somewhere there. And I'm going back to the bathroom and I see him. And he's got his tray table down and he's writing out everybody's cards and he's got all their passports. I'm like, that's a real tour manager right there. So he had, you want to talk about organized. So he wrote out everybody's thing. So then when I'm stuck at customs because I wrote the address wrong and they're like, you're not staying at that hotel. Cause I wrote like Best Western. There's no Best Western in fucking Malaysia or wherever we are. But This guy, he had their shit all written out perfectly. So they just go through and it's no problem.
Yeah. You called your manager, you're like, you're fired.
Oh my God, what a shit show. We had road crew leave. Like one time we got stuck in Caracas, Venezuela. We slept in the airport for days. We didn't know where the flights were. We had dudes just leave. They were like, I'm not doing this. And they just left. They just bounced. Some dudes even bounced at JFK before we even got on the flight.
Really?
And then when we did get to our final, whatever it was, I think we were in Brazil. They picked us up in like a Greyhound and we drove all night through the mountains and we saw like monkeys on the side of the road and we would get out at the bridges. This is back in the day. Like this is like 20 something years ago. We would get out in the bridges and they would have to push the bus over the bridge. And then you'd have to walk over the bus because otherwise the bridge.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy for sure. Yeah. Dude, I fought in Russia. What was it? 2 years ago, maybe. I overstayed my visa. I didn't realize in Russia you needed an exit visa. I mean, I had an exit visa, but the promotion didn't make it long enough. And this is like a mob company that I was fighting for. They pay you cash in a bag. Super sketchy.
Hard.
So I find out that my visa is going to expire before I leave. So I'm like Googling, like, what do you do? Everything I found, they're like, you go to jail for 30 days. And then they deport you. So then I start kind of worrying. I'm like, what am I going to do? You know, I start going around, went to like the minister of foreign affairs or whatever. Every building I walked into, they were like, we can't help you. You're screwed. You're screwed. Like everybody was just like, get out. Because to go into hotels and stuff there, you have to show your passport and your visa, all this stuff. So by the end, I have to like sneak back into the hotel that I have because I still have the room, but I couldn't go through like the main entrance. Or they call the police on you if you have an expired visa. I ended up being like holed up in my room. I had to call the U.S. Embassy the U.S. Embassy. And this guy calls me. It was the best phone call I got because I was just talking to Russian people forever. And I get this call from Washington and it's an American voice. And he's like, all right, yeah, this is kind of a big deal to them. Make sure you stay put. Don't leave. I'm going to call you back in like 30 minutes. He's like, make sure you answer your phone. So I'm sitting there, I'm like sweating because I'm supposed to fly out that night. And I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get on the flight. He ends up calling me back and he's like, all right, I'm gonna send you some paperwork. I need you to like print this off, do all this, and take it with you to the airport. He's like, give your friends my number. He's like, if they detain you or anything happens, have them call me right away. It was like nerve-wracking because I'm like, if I go to jail in Russia, like you're probably not seeing me again. I'm gonna be like a work camp. I go through customs, hand the guy my stuff, and both doors close. And I'm like stuck in this like phone booth.
Yeah.
And then I start panicking again because my friend went through, clear. I go in, he sees my stuff, and both doors just close. And I'm like, oh shit, like I did everything the guy told me. And they take me to this office and my friends are texting me like, what's going on? I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to this office. Luckily, they just ended up like stamping my papers, but it wasn't until my plane took off that I was finally like, I was going from Russia to Germany. I was like, oh, thank God. I thought I was going to be in like some Russian jail for a month. Dude, it was nerve-wracking. Other countries it's scary like when you travel because their legal systems, it depends on the country.
Plus, we've all seen Locked Up Abroad too many times where
yeah, they were going to do one of my buddies was going to be on that. Ian Heinisch, shout out to him on he's in the UFC.
Yeah,
he's top 15 or so. That guy's got a wild story. Locked Up Abroad was going to do a episode on him because he was locked up for I think like 4 years in Spain or something.
What?
Yeah, he speaks fluent Spanish. He's blonde hair, white dude, but he was locked up in Spain for a while. And then he thought he was the end of the story here after he got out of Spain. He said they took his passport and they took him to the airport, put him on a plane. And he thought he was free. He's like, I was drinking on the plane, having the best time, just got out of prison. He said he got off in New York and the U.S. Marshals were waiting for him because he had to finish his sentence at Rikers. So, but they didn't tell him that. So he's like, I thought I was just going home. Yeah.
No way. I
You
thought
actually-
he's from like Germany or something.
No, he's from Colorado.
Oh, dude, I gotta get him on the podcast, and I gotta hear it.
His story's wild.
So he got into a fight or something in Spain and got arrested for assault, or what? What was it?
No, drug trafficking.
What?
Yeah, he was doing it for like, I think like a year or two, and then he got caught with like a kilo. Now he's like turned his life around. He's sober. He like he doesn't get in trouble, nothing. He's younger than me. So I mean, when he was locked up, I think he was like 22 or 23.
And Spanish prison is not a fucking cakewalk.
He says it was better than here.
Come on.
He was like, I got to wear my own clothes. He said his girlfriend could come like visit every day. Yeah. I don't know.
Spanish girlfriend?
Yeah. But he said it was like, he said it was kind of like the movies, like you're locked in there, but you kind of like govern yourself in there. So he said a lot of the like English and American guys would all like group together, and then like Moroccans. And I don't know. I'll have to get him on here for you. It's a wild story.
Yeah, I want to hear that. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, man, it's great catching up with you, and good luck Thursday night. We'll try to get this up on YouTube tonight. And where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Instagram, mostly at Chris Camozzi MMA, and Twitter's just Chris Camozzi. Why don't you make the drive down to AC this Thursday?
Dude, I would, but I've had notorious bad luck with AC. It says 4 hours on the GPS. I've never gotten there in less than 8.
Are you still out in same spot? I don't know if
Yep.
people know where you live or not, but
Yeah, I'm up in Connecticut, and believe me, I almost went to the casino just to watch the fights the other night. But here's the problem. The gambling is a problem.
yeah. Oh, I'll be right there with you. I love playing craps.
Oh, dude, roulette. I always black 13. I have a whole song
Yeah.
about 13. It's like but I've been able to walk away recently. I used to be bad, like lotto and scratch offs and stupid shit. Now I don't do any of that. So, but I know AC could put me down a dark path.
I got you. Well,
right?
if you change your mind, let me know. I'll get you tickets. They're doing like it's closed event, but they do friends and family tickets.
Oh, it's so fucking tempting too. And I'd love to see Rory and Filthy Tom. Man, that's a banging card.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the PFL stepped it up this year. I mean, they got Pettis now. They have like Bubba Jenkins, Lance Palmer. Because Pettis left the UFC and signed with PFL.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah, and Bubba Jenkins, I watched that. He upsetted
Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one. There's a lot of good ones on here.
Some good matchups, man. Shoeface and Vinny. I'm like that. You're right. That's great that they made that in PFL, because that's like a real fan favorite matchup. I'm
excited for that one.
Yeah, it's going to be good, man. We'll have a great time, and best of luck, and we'll have you back on. Let's do it. We'll maybe after for one of the next pay-per-views, maybe we'll do like a recap of one of the pay-per-views, and we'll have you and Ian on, and he can talk about going to jail in Spain for 4 years. That's hard.
Yeah, he's got some good stories there. It'd be worth it.
Ask him about the tortilla. I always go when I go to Spain, I get that. It's like potatoes and peas, and they like mash it with like eggs, and it's in like it's so good. It's like a cake. It looks like a pie or a cake.
I know what you're talking about. I've been to Spain. Yeah. I don't know what it's called though.
I forget. It's so fucking good. I get that every time. One time we had days off on the Sepultura tour in Barcelona. We just went to the beach and drank Coronas and ate fresh cherries, and all the girls are topless, and we're out there maniacs, fat, tattooed, drinking, going wild. It was awesome. The girls kiss you on both cheeks. Man, I love Spain. Spain is a blast, man. It's such God, there's so Madrid. We had a rager of a show with DRI. Actually, that was in Barcelona. It was DRI and us. We had, I think, Napalm Death and exploited us in Madrid. It was sick. Anyways, good talking, man. Best of luck, and And thanks everybody from Patreon. If you do want to, I guess speak now or forever hold your peace. I guess Evan can unmute your mic if you got a question for Chris or myself. Otherwise, we'll get Phil from Whitechapel rescheduled, and I will post that. I'll post tomorrow when we get him rescheduled, and it'll just be a regular episode. It won't be a Fight Buddies. But Phil's a big UFC fan. He was excited for this. I don't know what happened.
You can come in. Yeah. No, that's a bummer. We'll have to get him in next time.
And if you ever fight in Tennessee, look up Philly Bo and his boy Gabe. Chris, we call him Hoss from Whitechapel. He's the best.
I'll have to check him out.
All right.
Yeah,
thanks everybody. Thanks, Evan. Take care, Chris.
Bye.
Thanks everybody for checking out today's episode with Chris Camozzi. Good luck to Chris in the fight Thursday night. Make sure you check it out. Who you taking in the main event? Rory McDonald or Gleison Tebow?
I mean, I gotta go with Rory. Rory, I watched that guy all growing up too.
And he's a Slipknot fan.
Oh, I mean, just add it to the tallies then. It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap. If he's 5'5", Gleison 6'6", it's done. That's a terrible joke, but I'm looking forward to Ray Cooper. I hope one of my books has these fights because I'm going to take Rory, I'm going to take Ray Cooper, I'm going to take Camozzi, and I'm going to take Vinny Magalhaes by submission on the prelims.
Dude, if they have, I was looking earlier, the TikTok fights, they had them on DraftKings. So if they don't have these fights, they're crazy.
They had the TikTok fights on DraftKings book?
Yeah.
See, I don't think I see the DraftKings book because I think it's illegal in Connecticut, but I think the head-to-heads and stuff is legal, so it lets me do that.
The betting laws are so different for every state. You have no idea what you can bet on and what you can't. So,
well, I hope you bought that DraftKings dip today, bro, because it hit
oh my
$44.
God. Dude, the boys are blowing me up during this recording about it.
Yeah, I bought heavy on DraftKings, heavy.
Smart idea.
Listen, don't let this shit scare you away. You gotta have balls of steel.
Diamond hands, as they say.
Yeah, yes. Diamond Jim. That's gonna be my new name. Diamond Jim. Check me out on DraftKings, Jasta 1997 for head-to-heads for UFC this weekend. Korean Zombie versus Dan Ige. Who are you taking on that?
Korean Zombie, of course. He's a force of nature, that guy.
Yeah, I love the Korean Zombie. I'm going to take him too. There's not a lot of bets on this card that I'm going to take. I always take Matt Brown. Shout out to Matt Brown. I'll get him on next week's episode, hopefully, if he's around. But I might take Sung-Woo Choi. I was thinking about that. We'll see.
12 fights. He's pretty good though, 9-3.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know people weren't too thrilled on this card, but maybe we'll do a recap for this card. If not, we'll definitely do another Fight Buddies for the next pay-per-view. And if you like the show, again, just hit the like button, subscribe. We're trying to get to 18,000 subscribers. When we do get to 18,000 subscribers, I'm going to give away a bunch of stuff. I got some fucking good soap. I got some protein drinks. I forget the name of the company, but they sent me a bunch. And then I got some merch to give away too. So let's get to 18,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Evan, thanks for guest producing. Where can they find you?
You can find me at Evan_hand on all socials, and also check out Cash Daddy's podcast.
Rad. And we'll get you some Rebel 8 gear. Send me your address, email me. And anybody who liked today's show, check out rebel8.com for the dope streetwear. Use my promo code JJ20 at checkout, rebel8.com. What about some metal merch? Can we hook you up with some metal merch from indiemerchstore.com?
Absolutely. I'm all about that.
All right. So go to indiemerchstore.com, pick it out, but don't get nothing too offensive like, the Butchered at Birth Cannibal Corpse design or something. We don't want you getting thrown off Cash Daddies for being too satanic.
Hey, man, they would probably welcome it, to be honest.
I don't know. Sam's on a spiritual tip right now.
He right.
He might not be down with the satanic shit.
That would throw off his inner chakra.
Yeah. Indiemerchstore.com. Use the promo code JASTA10. And then if you want to check out my curated page, it's indiemerchstore.com, promo code JASTA10, but it's indiemerchstore.com //Jasta. And then martyrstore.net is where you could find Jasta, Crowbar, Hatebreed, D. Snyder, and a bunch of other podcast merch. martyrstore.net. We appreciate y'all. Get out there, slay the day, keep the PMA of the grave, drink your coffee, do your push-ups, listen to death metal, and we'll be back with another episode of the Jasta Show and another episode of Fight Buddies next week. Bye-bye.